Good evening. Welcome to the Fairfield City School District Board of Education meeting for February 15th, 2024. Mrs. Lane, please call the roll.
Mr. Begley.
Here.
Mrs. Birding Miller.
Present.
Mr. Clark.
Present.
Mrs. Gundram.
Here.
Mr. Napier.
Here. Thank you. Mrs. Gundram, will you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yes.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mrs. Gundram. We'll jump right into presentations and resolutions. Mr. Smith.
Yes, Mr. Begley, members of the board, we have 3 presentations scheduled this evening. The first presentation is in regard to the potential renaming of our Performing Arts Center. At this time, I know we have several folks here, familiar faces to present, but at this time, I'll turn it over to Mr. Perry and allow him to introduce those folks.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. At this point in time, I'd like to introduce Mr. Jay Mondoon and Mrs. Mindy Reed.
So I'll begin by thanking the board, Mr. Smith, for having us out tonight to let us speak to you about 2 people that we love, and also considering our request and our proposal. We were tasked with being quick. Have you ever heard me? So I'm going to really try to control Mindy with that. But as I start us off, Mindy's going to hand out some information that maybe you would want in front of you as we present. Tonight we're going to offer a proposal, the reasons and rationale for that proposal. We're going to offer some testimony, both letters and video, and some live testimony. And then we have some specifics to our request as well that we'd like you all to hear. In order that it's very crystal clear, I'm going to read the proposal, which you all have in front of you as well. Friends of Jim and Pat Davis, the Fairfield High School Drama Club, the International Thespian Society, Troop 390, along with many alumni members, are proposing that the Fairfield High School Performing Arts Center be renamed in celebration and honor of the work done by Jim Davis, who has recently passed, and Pat Davis, former teacher, director of theater for Fairfield City School District, association president, Fairfield community member, and an instrumental consultant in the construction of both the Fairfield High School Performing Arts Center and the Fairfield Community Arts Center. We propose that the Fairfield High School Performing Arts Center be renamed as the Fairfield High School Performing Arts Center, the Jim and Pat Davis House.
One of the tasks before us when presenting to ask about naming a facility was to talk about some of the notable achievements. Together, Jim and Pat Davis have over 90 years of combined service to the Fairfield City School District. They were the founders of Thespian Troop 390 in 1968. When they first started working here, they founded our Thespian Society. It's an international organization. There are thousands. The fact that we are Troop 390 and have remained so for over 50 years is a testament to their idea of pioneering the arts in Fairfield. We have an alumni presence nationally and internationally on the stage, screen, technical theater. I have some names on that list for you. I'm going to name some of them here, but it is by no means a complete list. Working in Broadway, Disney, Universal Studios, in Chicago, LA, and on national tours. Eric Lang, Chevee Brown, John McPherson, Nick Searley, Lindsay Flick, Ryan Imhoff, Cole McClendon. On screen, Eric Lang, Janet Davies, Becca Eaton, Daniel Whistler, Ryan Imhoff, Matt Neal, Tyler Parsons, and Joanna Johnson. On the production side of theater, Brent McCreary, Kevin Moore, Michael Feldman, Lindsay Flick, Digger Howard, Matt Neal, Brian Heinrich, Steve Heinrich, Sammy Haven. To give you some specifics about these, working on Broadway currently, John McPherson. He worked alongside Jim Davis on production and construction while he was in school. He then started off on Broadway as the automation worker for Phantom of the Opera, then became production carpenter for numerous productions. Currently, he is performing as the production manager for Aladdin on Broadway. He sent it out to Australia to set up their international tours as well. On screen, you probably know his name, or your children may. Eric Lang, seen in Victorious, the TV show, as the crazy drama director, which he said he got some inspiration from Jim and Pat when creating that role, but all the good things. He was in Narcos, Perry Mason, in the film Secretariat. He was the recipient of the Screen Actors Guild Award for his work on Escape at Dannemora with Patricia Arquette and Benicio del Toro. It was an ensemble cast award. You'll hear from him a little bit later today. Working on production, Brent McCreary is working on the financial side in production on Broadway. He worked on the financial production end for touring shows like Wicked and currently Harry Potter on Broadway. Michael Feldman worked with Jim Davis as a young child in community theater all the way through his years here. He then moved to Florida, where he was a puppeteer for Disney and has now worked his way to being the theatrical production design manager for Disney World in Florida.
We're going to move into our testimonies. Oh, never mind.
Some of their pioneering productions, and I just needed to include some of these visuals here. House of Blue Leaves won a state award for their work with the International Thespian Society. Hello, Dolly and West Side Story. Fairfield was the first high school to produce those musicals under their direction back in the 1970s. That laid the foundation and our reputation for Jay to be able to be the first to direct Starlight Express, and for Jay and then myself to be able to direct Phantom of the Opera here. And it was because of the work that they did to be the first to pursue Hello, Dolly and West Side Story all those years ago.
Okay, now we're going to move to some testimony. She does it very well. And you have full copies of these letters, but we're just going to highlight a few things. Phil Nuxall, I think we all know the Nuxall family here in Fairfield. Phil Nuxall, growing up in the shadow of my father, Joe Nuxall, was daunting, as I never felt that I could measure up to his greatness and fame. I participated in a variety of sports, from baseball to tennis, each time only for the purpose of pleasing my dad. He never forced me into any sports and was always supportive of my extracurricular activities I participated in, especially music and theater. And here's the statement I want you to hear. But I never found my comfort zone or confidence in anything until I met the D's and got involved in theater. Their role in finding myself was beyond words, and I cherish every minute of their friendship and professional guidance. Ask anyone who knows the D's, and they will proudly tell you Jim and Pat changed their lives. From a co-worker for all these years, 35 plus years, Sue Welsh. She says, Pat and Jim arrived at Fairfield High School in 1967, and from then until 2000, they were involved in every production, casting, directing, building, sets, selling tickets. Most importantly, reaching and teaching students. Students who didn't realize they had any talent at all found a place with these two people whose very heart was in developing young adults through an outstanding theater program. There could not be a more deserving couple for recognition than Jim and Pat Davis.
We now have some video tributes from Janet Davies and Eric Lang. And I need your help with that.
Hi, everybody. My name is Janet Davies, class of 1970. And my sophomore year at Fairfield High School, two people showed up, and they had a huge impact on my life. Jim and Pat Davis. And they took over our theater department, and they gave so many of us opportunities we never thought we would ever have or knew we should have. It really impacted me because of what I eventually did, was go into work in television news broadcasting for ABC for 45 years. But they took other kids who were slightly out of the box and showed them a path forward. So if you're going forward with an idea to honor them and really celebrate what they did for Fairfield High School, I urge you to do it. Please, please, please. Their legacy is so important. Thank you.
She's an anchor for the ABC affiliate in Chicago.
Chicken has nothing to do with that, right?
Yeah. And now it's Eric Lang. Oh, I don't know who went.
Who is successful and has a great pathway to get there.
Hi, my name is Eric Lang, and I believe if you are lucky in life, you will meet someone who, by way of knowing them and learning from them, your life is irrevocably changed for the better. And I'm lucky because I have that person in Jim Davis. I was a Fairfield High School drama club kid. I was an awkward kid before I started with the drama club. And after meeting Jim and Pat and doing the plays and the musicals and the encouragement I received from them, the support, the love, the education around acting that I received from them, changed my life forever because it became what I wanted to do for a living. And when I told my parents this and I wanted to go and major in acting in college, they got very concerned, understandably. And they went to Mr. and Mrs. Davis and they said, listen, he wants to do this like for a career. And they told my parents there's not many people we would ever recommend go into this field, but we think he has a shot. And it gave my parents all the faith in the world that I was making a smart jump because they had that much faith in what the Davises thought. I consider them my theater parents. The environment that Jim and Pat created in that little room with our special little group is something I've never encountered before or since. And it did shape the rest of my life because to this day, I am a working actor. It is how I make my living. I have done so for 25 years now. And it all started in that little room in Fairfield High School with Jim and Pat Davis. And I'm just one story of hundreds of people that will tell you the same thing, that the effect they had on people was special and unique and magical. So please honor this man in any way possible. He's certainly earned it in my book. He changed my entire life for the better. So I love the man. Thank you so much.
So beyond all of this world of Broadway and screen, and again, there's hundreds of people out there working professionally in theater, in screen, and writing, and news broadcasting, because of what they found with Jim and Pat Davis. But I want to, and we will definitely make sure she is quick. She can be long-winded. But the greatest achievement that Jim and Pat Davis would tell you tonight, if they were here present, is if they ever inspired a teacher to go off, or a student to go off and become a teacher. And we are very fortunate in our theater team. We have Mindy, Mike, Trish, Eric, all products of Jim and Pat Davis. So Mindy just is going to share a couple of things.
Right.
She said she wasn't.
I said I wasn't going to cry.
Stop.
But he is correct. I am here, and Kathy Sullivan before me was here, who the Studio Theater is named after, because of the Davises. They were my teachers, and I came back, and the greatest thing that we wanted to do, and Jay has continued, we still count him as a Fairfield alum, even though he's our drama staff. It's the only drama staff member here working here who is not a Fairfield grad. The idea of educational theater. And that is what Jim and Pat did that surpassed everything else, giving students the opportunities to perform, not only that, but build the sets, design the sets, write their own plays, create props, come up with, make something out of nothing. All of those 21st century skills that you can't necessarily get within a classroom, thinking on your feet, collaborating with others. That whole idea of creativity, that's what they've instilled and we've tried to maintain, and as part of their legacy.
So just quickly, the specifics. Jim and Pat, as Eric mentioned, went from a classroom, a cafetorium, renting Parish Hall, to helping to design the Performing Arts Center, where we hold our opening meetings, where we celebrate student athletes, where we have concerts, band, orchestra, choir, where we have the Crystal Classic, and where we stage many of our plays. They designed that place. So what better way to honor their beautiful work in Jim's awesome memory than renaming it the Jim and Pat Davis House. And I want to just explain that really quickly. A house in theater is where the audience sits. What we do on stage is awesome, but it doesn't matter if an audience doesn't show up to share the experience, the story. The audience is key, and they sit in the house. But all of you know, a house means family. It's where your kids live, it's where you live, it's where you gather together around the table. I think the testimonies you heard tonight, Mindy's tears, my welling up right now, will tell you Jim and Pat Davis built a family, not only at the Fairfield City School District, but throughout this whole community. So again, we come to you proposing that the new name of our theater here at Fairfield High School be the Fairfield High School Performing Arts Center, the Jim and Pat Davis House. And we thank you for your time. And best of luck with everything else you have tonight. We forgot to say.
I'm sorry. It's on there, but we did seek out support from other stakeholders in the Performing Arts Center. When we mentioned the music department, we've spoken with Jill Wilhelm about all of the other groups that perform in there, and she is also of the belief, with the Jim and Pat working here when she first came on, that they are most deserving of this, and we have the full support from the other stakeholders in that facility. So if you need a letter or statement from them, they would be glad to do that. But again, they created and designed the facility that we would like to name for them. Thank you.
Yeah, do we have any questions or comments? We can discuss this now a little bit.
I think it's a great idea. Bill's not here. Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
You know, my only question was going to be other stakeholders, and you answered that at the end, so everyone seems on board with this. Thank you.
Yeah, the passion that you two brought and the testimonies, and I'm sure the impact that those two had on many lives is incredible. So I'm on board for this. I think this is a great idea, and the house piece of it, you're right. I did not know that about the theater part, so thank you for that. I was on board before, but that helps. But it's all about family. That's a lot of what we do in school. Teams, sports. We talked about this at the last meeting a little bit with the presentation, and that's what it's all about. So this is minimal for us. For me personally, I think this is minimal of what we could do for them. So they definitely deserve it. And thank you for putting all the work into it.
Yeah, they definitely sound like they were a very inspiring, dynamic force in the school system and in the lives of so many children. And this seems like a totally wonderful and appropriate way to show at least a little tiny bit of our appreciation for everything that they've done. So thank you so much.
Yeah, I want to also just thank, as an alumni who didn't necessarily get to participate in the theater program, but was adjacent with the music program and actually took your class as theater and created my own play with my classmates. It's amazing to see the legacy and the culture that they created in the Fairfield City School District, and that we're continuing to the day. Like, I remember seeing Starlight Express and Phantom of the Opera when I was here in high school. And it's truly a great honor to dedicate something to somebody who had such a couple who had such a great impact on our culture of the school system. So thank you.
Yeah, I think sharing that bit of information about West Side Story and the plays that they brought here first, I've always thought, why did we or how did we get Phantom of the Opera and the opportunity to do those things? And now I see it's sort of a legacy. Great thing. So it looks like we've got board support here. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely have the full support of the district administrative team. I think I shouldn't have looked at I mean, you heard the video testimonials. I mean, time and time again, folks sharing how the Davises impacted, changed their life, helped them find their way in life, and you know, that's what we do in education. So I think that's a beautiful thing, and I anticipate that Lance will continue to iron out some details with the group, and I anticipate that we will be able to bring that to you for board approval, possibly at the first meeting in March.
Great. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, our second presentation is in regard to student pathways for the future. At this time, I will turn it over to Mrs. Auld.
No crying, Mrs. Ong.
And if you do, don't look over here.
Well, I was going to say, I'm not sure how we followed that. And there shouldn't be any tears in this presentation. So thank you, Mr. Smith, Mr. Begley, members of the board. Mrs. Pospischal and I are here tonight to talk about pathways to the future. This presentation is going to focus on Ohio's graduation requirements and the opportunities Fairfield students have to meet those requirements. At the foundation, Fairfield students have access to college and career-ready curricula and courses to prepare them for their future after graduation. Beyond that, Fairfield offers a variety of other opportunities through AP and CCP courses, which give students access to college-level material and experiences. As you know, we also have a strong partnership with Butler Tech, which allows us to expose students to career and workforce opportunities both on and off campus. At this time, I will turn it over to Mrs. Pospischal, our Coordinator of Secondary Curriculum and Instruction, to share more details about student pathways to graduation.
Thank you, Mrs. Ogg. I'm Good afternoon. I'm excited to share with you this evening a quick overview of the graduation requirements, information regarding the different pathways towards graduation, and finally show you 4 of our favorite seniors who have decided to pursue their passions by taking one of these paths towards graduation. As you know, the graduation requirements changed beginning with the graduating class of 2023. The requirements now have a greater focus on college and career readiness to ensure our Ohio students are ready to take on the world outside the walls of their high school. The students have 3 different areas they are required to complete. The first, earning 20.5 Fairfield required course credits. Second, the students are required to show competency by earning at least one of the following: a competency score on Algebra 1 and ELA 2 end-of-course exams, completing 2 career-focused activities, taking a college credit plus courses, or military enlistment. Thirdly, the students must earn at least 2 diploma seals to show their readiness. Before we hear from our students, I wanted to share the numbers of students who are currently working towards showing competency and readiness. As Ms. Ogg stated, all of our courses are foundational, career, and college ready. But we have a number of students who take it one step further and participate in 1 or more advanced standing classes. Currently, we have 530 students who are enrolled in 1 or more of our advanced placement courses. And from those 530 students, we have a total of 944 AP exams that will be given this May. We have 240 course enrollments for our in-house CCP courses, and we have a total of 27 students who attend either Miami University, University of Cincinnati, or Cincinnati State full-time. We also have students who are working towards career-focused activities to show competency. Currently, we have a total of 331 students enrolled in one of the satellite campuses of Butler Tech, with our highest number of 177 attending D. Russell Lee. 74 of our students attend the Bioscience Center, 34 the School of Performing Arts, 29 the Natural Science Center, and 17 of our students participate in Project Search or Project Life. We also have a multitude of Butler Tech courses students are able to take here on Fairfield's campus. Finally, according to our 2023 report card, we had 1.3 of our graduating class enlist in the military. As you know, Fairfield does not have a junior ROTC program, but allows for military recruiters to come in during lunch to talk to interested students, and allows for ASVAB testing on our school-wide testing day in the fall. Before showing off some of our 4 amazing seniors, I wanted to take a minute to thank Mr. Todd Bradbury, instructional specialist, for meeting and videoing our students, along with producing the video we are about to see.
Hello, my name is Myla. I'm a senior here at Fairfield High School. And my plans after graduation, I plan to go on to Howard University. It's an HBCU in DC, Washington, DC. And I plan to study political science. I decided to go to Howard, and specifically an HBCU, because I felt like that cultural connectiveness and just being around so many Black people who are motivated and passionate and really know what they want to do with their life. I feel like that's an experience I can't get anywhere else. And I feel like, and I also really love the city of DC, being so close to the government. It works well with my major. And I really like East Coast. AP Government last year with Ian Jacobs. And I really like that class. I really like government. Up until that point, I didn't really have an idea where I wanted to go, like, after high school. And I feel like I always had a passion for advocacy, and government and political science really connected me to that, and I really love the class, and it pushed me forward. Every history teacher that I've had at Fairfield has been amazing, has motivated me to continue my passion for history, and I really don't think I would be on this path without them. I really do love history teachers here, and you guys did a great job. Miss Owen, she's always been there when I had a question, when I needed help with anything. She was always there, and she's good at her job. My goals for the future, of course, I want to graduate college. Hopefully, I can maybe go and get my doctorate in political science or something like that. I want to be a lawyer or maybe become a professor. But then I'm also interested in like just working in government. So I feel like I'll decide as I get farther into my career and do more internships. But hopefully, I would like to continue my education. That's my main thing. Because I feel like I'm a lifetime learner. So. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Owen Crawley. After graduation, I'm planning on going to Air Force Academy and studying aerospace engineering there. I decided to go to this after reading The Right Stuff in 8th grade. It's a book about astronauts and pilots, and that really just opened my eyes to this career field. And ever since then, I've wanted to go into it. That have helped me. My counselor has been really attentive and alert. Mrs. Ashford, whenever I ask her a question, she gets back to me almost immediately. And any teacher I've asked to write letters of recommendation, they've been really willing and wanting to help me in my journey. A specific staff member that I feel like has assisted me really well and supported me in this is Mr. Simmons, my English teacher, junior year. He's just been really supportive my whole time here, and always willing to help me out if I need help revising an essay or anything like that. And he's always been really excited that I made this decision. And my goals for the future after college, I'm trying to be a pilot in the Air Force, and then potentially after that become an astronaut with NASA.
Hello, my name is Ty, and after school, I plan to go into the U.S. Navy. I decided to go this way so I can get my life started after school and try to push myself to be the best version of myself. What assisted me was the math classes I've taken.
Evelyn Mesa Rivas. I've chosen nursing here at the Butler Tech at the Bioscience Center here at Westchester, Ohio. I decided this pathway because I have a younger brother. He's been through so many surgeries, so knowing a lot of kids go through that at such a young age as well, I started thinking like I'm very good with kids. I know what my brother went through. I know what I've seen, witnessed with him, and so just being able to go into nursing and hopefully becoming a pediatric nurse to hopefully being a family nurse practitioner will definitely be helpful because my family and other family members, family friends have also gone through many things, and just knowing that I have that caring side and being a people's person and everything really showed me that I do care for people and I want to take care of others, knowing that they go through the same ways or even a different route. Also, I have two teachers here at Butler Tech, here where I go. I've had them for 2 years now. Miss Munchin, she is my STNA teacher here, and Miss Lynch, who I have for assessment, diagnosis, and treatment. Both of them are very supportive. I've gone through career choices with them, and they are very supportive. And I'm very close with them as well. I have such a good relationship with them. I'm able to come to them and talk to them about anything, and they're very helpful. Like, they listen. If you have any troubles, they'll like give you advice. And if you go a different career pathway, they're all still very supportive because they want you to succeed and have a future. My future goals obviously is being a BSN and a bachelor's degree in nursing, and just being RN for a while, and then hopefully going and to get my master's to become a family nurse practitioner and being able to help families as well. So that's something I really want in my future. After I leave Butler Tech, I will be joining Miami University, Oxford, in their nursing program that I got directly admitted, so I can't wait for that.
5 words you pronounce wrong 2 years before your brain starts shutting down. Dementia is now known as type 3 diabetes, according to the Mayo Clinic, where doctors have made a shocking discovery.
Now you know.
That was not like the cat, like the kitten in the first one, that was not part of our presentation here.
All right, no questions here. Questions, comments? No? Thank you. Thank you.
All right, our last presentation this evening is regard to an update on our Hope Squad. So at this time, I will turn it over to Mr. Crapo.
I just don't know what's going to come at the end of this, between the cat and that one. Good evening, members of the board. First of all, I'd like to thank each of you for taking this time to recognize the Hope Squad, what they do, and the impact that the students make. I also want to thank our fellow Hope Squad members that were able to be here tonight, along with one of the coordinators. They've been able to prepare a slideshow for you, and with that, I'm going to turn it over to them to take you through the show.
Thank you. Well, thank you guys for having us here. We're excited to be able to share a little bit about the impact that we make here. My name is Devin. I'm a member of the Hope Squad, and I have been for 3 years here at the high school, but as you know, it does start in the middle school level as well. I do want to take a minute to introduce our advisor. So Ms. Packo is here. The other advisors have worked really hard to help us put together this presentation, but between conference night and other scheduling conflicts, they cannot be here, but their spirit, their love, their heart, their passion is certainly here. And that's Ms. V and Ms. Swinnerton. They are teachers here in the building. So Ms. V teaches English, Ms. Packo teaches English as well, and Ms. Swinnerton is a world language teacher. I'll allow the rest of the students to also introduce themselves as well.
Hello, my name is Nir Patel. I'm a sophomore and I'd like to be here.
Hello everyone, thank you for having me. I'm Rojita Rai. I am a current junior and I've been in Hope Squad for the past 3 years.
Hello everyone, my name is Julia Schuster and I am a junior at Fairfield and I've been in Hope Squad for 6 years.
So lots of people here. I think it makes up a very diverse group that we have here, which is why we're excited to kind of break down Hope Squad by the numbers, talk a little bit about how we can serve the entire student population at the high school.
So our first slide, Hope Squad by the numbers. Hope Squad's strength lies in its diverse composition, uniting members from varied backgrounds and different grade levels. This intentional diversity isn't just about representation. It's a commitment to building enduring connections. As you can see with the pie chart, there's a total of 22.2% of seniors in Hope Squad this year, 46.7% of juniors, and 31.1% of sophomores, totaling to about 45 current members in Hope Squad. By having this range of members across grade levels, our hope from Hope Squad is that we can cultivate strong, supportive relationships that extend beyond graduation.
A little bit about us. Hope Squad is a school-based peer-to-peer suicide prevention program that emphasizes suicide prevention fundamentals, self-care, and anti-bullying. The purpose of Hope Squad is to improve access and availability to appropriate prevention services for youth who are at risk for suicide. The Hope Squad program functions as a peer support team with the goal of providing kindness, encouragement, and support to any of our peers who may be struggling.
Next we have, how does Hope Squad work? As Hope Squad members, we are nominated by our peers as someone who displays naturally good listening skills and to whom students would go to if they need help during difficult times. As Hope Squad members, we then receive training to refer peers to trusted adult for help. We are not asked to act as a counselor. We are instead trained to recognize the warning signs and empowered to report those signs to an adult.
And so to be able to do this, there is a number of trainings that we go through, and I think that the best part is that this training is ongoing, and what's really helpful is that these conversations and this training that we receive carry with us in everything that we do. So oftentimes we think that Hope Squad is just at the school, but I found that I've had to use some of my training, such as this question, persuade, refer, QPR, or maybe this red flag recognition training during some of my other involvements, maybe with dealing with youth in different schools and different communities. So it's really good because it's about empowering students past just here at the high school, being community members that help serve the entire community. And especially as we kind of reintegrate back after COVID-19, it's very important that we prioritize mental wellness. And I think that these, I'm going to say, agents of change out there really is helping change that narrative. And so we do this, we utilize our training obviously in the event of the crisis, but the hope of Hope Squad is to be proactive, hopefully trying to prevent a crisis. And so there are a number of different activities that we do to be proactive in that, such as our 988 games, which have been mentioned here a couple of times, but those are organized by our athletic trainers. They invite different community organizations out to provide resources to students and parents that are coming into these athletic events. They make it out to every single one of the sports that we offer here in the FCSD. And Hope Squad usually is there as well with candy, bracelets, brochures as well to educate everyone about this program here in the FCSD. Then we have Hope Week, which is an annual week that we host with just different messages that we pass around to the school community, hopefully trying to encourage this conversation. Again, we're wanting to break the stigma around prioritizing mental health in the building. So by being proactive, by being students, by being engaged in this conversation, we hope to, again, kind of empower students in this mental wellness aspect in the building. We sponsored a football game, so we did some partnering with another Hope Squad, I believe it was Lakota East, and we partnered with them to pass out Hope Squad materials at the football game, and that got a lot of attention as well. And it's great because we reached out to Hope Squad at another building, and they came as well here to Fairfield to participate as well. So it's not like, one Hope Squad is battling the other Hope Squad. We're all kind of connected for one mission, which is the opposite at a football game, which is kind of funny. And then, of course, we have the holiday fun as well. So just a couple of weeks ago, we passed out elves. Or not passed out, we hid them around the building, good old elf on a shelf, and students had to find them. We hid those early in the afternoon, and I heard that students were finding them before the day was over early, so students were connected to that event. It's the small things that matter most. This year, we are excited that Hope Week will be in a big week for our 988 games, So while 988 games are happening across the district that week, we'll also be having Hope Week here. The encouragement is not only get those students out to those events to participate in this 988 game, but as well to have those messages happening here at the high school as well.
So now we have some more events that Hope Squad has done over the past couple months. First, we have the Buddy Bench. You might have seen it when you walked into the school today. It's made of 100 pounds of bottle caps that we collected during lunch at the high school. And the initiative created a bench for our campus to ensure that no student ever sits alone. Devin, when interviewed by Local 12 and WLWT5, said it best. It's a powerful reflection of our community and what happens here every day. Next, we have our mental health collab meetings and SBSW groups, which we work with together with school-based support workers to connect with more students and to spread awareness of the resources available. During mental health collab meetings, Hope Squad members represent services. And last, we have our secret missions, which are just little small acts of kindness during school that we all partake in. So, yeah.
Speaking of secret missions, like Devin had stated earlier, we had hosted or conducted this Elf on the Shelf activity, which many students were able to participate in, and they also became very familiar with our administrators. Right below the picture of the elves are the 3 pictures which represent the thankful hand turkeys that we have created this past Thanksgiving. It was just a way for us to show our thankfulness and gratitude to our school. They were displayed in the hallways where it was all visible for all students. In the middle, we have an image of a licensed therapy dog, which we bring out every Hope Week towards the end of the year. He is a big hit in our school. He just evaporates all that stress we have towards the exam season. He's wonderful. The picture all the way to the right, we have a group of students. Like Devin stated earlier, we have collaborated with other local schools such as Lakota West. At football games, we have handed out Pop-It bracelets to all of them, which just helps promote mental illness and mental health, importance of mental health, as well as suicide prevention. Right below that image, we have a picture of our Positive Pumpkin patch that we have created this past fall, and it just radiated positivity throughout a school. It was located at a very focal point of our school, visible to all students. Lastly, all of these visuals are posted at in our Instagram that we have created. With the rising use of social media, we decided that it was a really good idea to create a platform which not just students, but all individuals of our community and around the world can view for support.
To go along with that, Hope Squad isn't just a club or organization, but it's also a community as well. Through Hope Squad, annually we create Hope Week, which is a week dedicated just to mental health. That's coming up soon. I'm close to prom. Through Hope Week, we create Spirit Weeks, which are daily activities that we do for a week that engage the student body into doing different events and dressing up to encourage Hope Squad and Hope Week for that. From time to time, we also go to football games and different sporting events that vary all across the year. Through them, we also pass out candies, bracelets, stickers, just to engage the student body more, and not just make it into a club or organization, but actually a community as well.
I love what Nihar said, that Hope Squad is a community, because like I began with the start is that, these are conversations that we take everywhere. So one of the things that I was really proud of is to be named to the Hope Squad National Council. So this is a council that kind of coordinates nationally the efforts of Hope Squad. So I know some of the things that we're working on now is reviewing some of the Hope Squad curriculum that makes its way down to Hope Squad classes. In some school districts, it's a class. We meet weekly during our tribe times, and we go over Hope Squad activities there. We do a lot of, I would say, corporate development for Hope Squad. So we speak on panels, we represent youth in different capacities as it relates to mental wellness and being. And I think that this is just one reflection of how Hope Squad members are involved in so many different aspects of promoting mental wellness in the building, which is just a reflection of how we're representing the district. We're having this local, state, and federal impact as it relates to mental wellness among teens, which I think it's a great reflection of, like I said, when I was interviewed for the Buddy Bench, the things that happen every single day here in the FCSD.
How we collaborate with our mental health resources at FHS. Hope Squad collaborates closely with their school-based social workers and counseling department to provide support and student mental health at Fairfield High School. We often also play a crucial role in referrals as well for students who may benefit from additional guidance, ensuring that they receive necessary support to address their needs effectively. Once again, we're not counselors, we just direct students when need be and help. This can also be shown throughout the school. We have QR codes and links posted everywhere for students who would like to sign up for a support group, and they're posted everywhere, so if need be, they can always access it.
And just last week, we celebrated National Counselors Appreciation Week. Counselors, school-based social workers, or support workers in the building really are vital to the work that we do. And I think what makes it really good is that when you know that you have to refer a student over, that they will follow up. They'll follow up in a timely manner. And, students appreciate these resources in the building. And it's nice that we have intensive resources also available for students seeking help. So again, there's that referral process here, which is really important. So when crafting this presentation, unfortunately, to keep it time sensitive or time constraints, we didn't want to have the whole Hope Squad here. We had to say, we have to turn away some students, because a lot of students were interested in coming to this board meeting to speak about Hope Squad and what it means to them. So a survey was sent out, and we just captured some of the best ones that we thought about what Hope Squad meant to students that are in Hope Squad. Someone said, in my many years as a Hope Squad member, I've been able to implement my knowledge of mental health into my everyday conversations. These are conversations happening in the lunchroom, at football, at basketball games, maybe in passing of classes. I cannot think of how many lives we've saved because of these conversations, because of these proactive measures, because we're breaking down a stigma. Someone else said, I've used my Hope Squad training a couple of times with my friends and even strangers. Again, it's not just here in this community, which is something that I think is really powerful. Another one is Hope Squad has bettered my life in ways of friendship. Hope Squad has taught me how to be there for someone. So there's also that personal impact. And so I think we're going to all share how Hope Squad has impacted us. And I'll start personally. Just being able to empower other people in this process of mental wellness is extremely important. And I've also learned how to protect my own mental wellness. Sometimes we want to protect everyone else. We want to be there for everyone else. But in order for us to do that, we have to be there for ourselves. And that's exactly what Hope Squad has taught me, something that's really powerful.
I would like to show or display how Hope Squad has helped me by reading this quote at the bottom of the page. One thing about Hope Squad that has helped change me as a person is that it's given me a new perspective on life and how fragile it really is. The last thing I would want is for a young individual to realize the beauty of life when it's too late, which is why I surround myself with adults and kids my age who are passionate about what we do and help enforce my own beliefs, which is why I'm part of this group.
I want to expand on what Devin said about the bottom right quote, because like I said, I've been a Hope Squad member for 6 years. So I've had a lot of experience with it, and I can tell from even my personal life and experience that in my everyday conversations, I can tell a difference. I can empathize with people more, I can see what people are feeling and try and help them with that. And I think that's a really good quality to have, and I think it's also really powerful to know that not only am I helping others, but I'm also helping myself.
And I would also like to expand on their thoughts too. I personally resonate with all these quotes, but if I had to pick just one, I would pick the one on the upper right-hand corner. Hope Squad has bettered my life in ways of friendship. Hope Squad has taught me how to be a good friend. Not just that, before Hope Squad, I did have friends. I had just friends. But now, I have friends, community, and a family, in which I can really bond with and share my knowledge and hope with. It really helps me to know that, because not just me being a Hope Squad member to help other people, but knowing that I can rely on them when my time may need be.
And so we know that many students that attend Fairfield High School, and I would say any school, take lots of different walks to get here. And I think that what someone had said about empathizing with them, and that's exactly what's really important, is that we don't know what someone is going through on the inside. You can have someone with the biggest smile on their face, plays the varsity sports, is involved in everything, but truly can be struggling inside. And so Hope Squad really encourages you to dig deeper and really find that root, that why of maybe when someone is struggling. And I think that's something that's really powerful. So we have a couple of thank yous, because obviously this work cannot be done alone. And so I'd like to thank the FHS administration. Obviously Mr. Bellamy is out there in the crowd. I know that when we go to him with ideas, when we go to him with different things that we want to do, he's always on board, always willing to support students in all of their endeavors. So we're really appreciative for him.
We would also like to thank the mental health staff at our school who have been with us and guided us through this whole presentation, and we couldn't have done this without them, so thank you.
We would like to thank our advisors, our 3 advisors who have been with us through thick and thin. They have led us to where we are today, and we wouldn't be here without them.
And last but certainly not least, we'd like to thank the school board. You guys, thanks for having us today, and we really appreciate you listening to us and taking time out of your meeting for us. So thank you all. Thanks for having us. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Board member comments?
Yeah, I'll jump in first before. I love this. I've loved Hope Squad from the first time I heard about it. I had the pleasure or the honor to be a part of the ID project several years ago, and it was right after that I heard about Hope Squad. And students need you, right? And so thank you for doing what you're doing. Thank all the Hope Squad leaders that do what they do. Devin, you touched on it, and all of you did a little bit too. What about you guys? You touched on being aware and all that, and I know you had the counselors and the advisors. do you have someone to go to? And you don't have to answer this part of the question, but are you comfortable with doing that? Don't answer that. I'm just saying, but I think it's important that you because you're taking on a whole lot from your peers, and a lot of times that can just be overwhelming. So I hope and pray that you are comfortable enough to go to somebody, and that whether it's each other or an advisor or a counselor yourself. So like I think Devin said, you got to take care of yourself, and that's really, really important. Just like the airplane thing, if the mask comes down, you got to do you first before you can help anybody else. So, thank you all for doing what you do and for helping other students, because there's right now, as you know, COVID, as you mentioned, it was teens have it bad anyway, or rough, and it's since COVID it's gotten a little more rough, right? There's so much out there. So thank you again for doing what you do. Thank you for being here tonight. And then lastly, and I know they answered this question, but I want you to tell it. If I missed it on your presentation, I apologize. How do you become a Hope Squad leader?
So I first want to go to your first comment and say that, on Wednesdays when we go to Tribe Time and we meet all together as Hope Squad members, there is this sense of, hey, what's going well, what's going on, it's checking in, and we have these one-on-one relationships. It's great that Ms. Packo's in the audience, because Ms. Packo has been my homeroom teacher and now is a Hope Squad advisor for all of my years at the high school. So I think I've built a very strong relationship with her,
yes.
and I know that I can go to her if there's something going wrong. And if I want to say something about the school community. And so I think that obviously I can't answer for anyone else, but I certainly can answer for me that there is that kind of connection there. As far as how you become a Hope Squad member, you are nominated, which I think adds so much more powerfulness to it. I am class president at the high school, but that's campaigning. That's going out, here's what I can do for you, la, la, la. But in this, you go into a homeroom one day, a Google form is posted. I want you to type the first name that comes to your mind of someone you'd be comfortable with going to in the event of a crisis. And these students, myself, Nihar, all of these people here were identified. And that is, I think that goes to show not only the presence that we work to build, but also, how strong it can be of just treating everyone kind. I think it only reaffirmed that in that nomination process. So that's something that's really important, part of Hope Squad, I think.
Thank you, Div. And that's why I wanted the community here, is that it's your peers that nominate you. So there's something very special about you guys. So again, thank you.
Other comments?
I also want to thank you all for coming out and presenting, and truly from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for being there for the community and the students. It is so important. Mental health is such a hard battle, especially at your guys' age, and there's only so much teachers can see and the administration can see as they're walking through the hallways, and you guys are in it and living in it. So have somebody that's a peer that's going through the same crisis that you're going through to be able to talk to is so impactful and powerful. So thank you so much. I'm so happy that you guys are getting through training and providing stuff for your own mental health and able to take that to our community and develop you as a growing adult. You guys are going to be coming and moving on from our system, and you're going to take all of these trainings and knowledge with you throughout your life. And so that is so incredible that you guys are able to take that and bring that to just our society. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
I don't know that I can say it any better than my colleagues just did, but I thought it was funny that Mr. Clark mentioned the airplane thing, because that's what I thought too. You got to put your own oxygen mask on before you can put somebody else's on. And I know at the end you all thanked us for being here for you, but thank you for being here for us and for the community. We truly appreciate you. And like Ms. Burning Miller said, it is so important. Though it was many years ago, I remember being a teenager. And it is so important to have somebody your own age that you could talk to, where if you didn't feel comfortable, you had an issue, you didn't feel comfortable talking to a teacher, a guidance counselor, or whatever, you had someone your own age who understood what you're going through for the most part and where you were in life, and you all are providing that for other students, and that is so amazing, and I find it so wonderful. So thank you.
I think it's great that we have student involvement in this. It really helps our school district out more than you know. It helps us out, helps the teachers out, so I appreciate all that you do.
Rojita, Jennifer, Nahar, Devin, you're a frequent flyer here at board meetings. Thank you on behalf of the board, and make sure you thank your colleagues for all you're doing. In the presentation, I picked up, the intentional visibility, right? The things you're doing out in the public, the QR codes, the things you're doing in the schools to make sure everyone knows that this lifeline, for lack of a better word, exists, right? And that they can come to people and speak to someone. So it's a beautiful thing. It's wonderful. Great. Thank you, Mr. Crapo. Thank you for bringing them in. Thanks for being here.